Thanks for tuning into Adventure News. I'm Shaky Jones.
And I'm Manuel Garcia. Here's the world news. In the past 6 months, American and Afghan soldiers have come under rocket fire near the border of Pakistan. There have been over 102 close border attacks since the beginning of May. U.S. soldiers are at a great risk of injury and don't know how to strike back. The relationship between Pakistan and the U.S. governments has since been failing.
Now for national news. Thousands of marchers gathered outside Times Square, causing an uproar on Saturday, October 15th. Protesters chanted, "I got bailed out, we got sold out." From within police restrictions, protesters have become quite angry due to our current financial crisis. Police in their riot gear were able to push the demonstrators out onto Times Square onto the sidewalk. I sure would hate to be there right now.
I hope nothing gets out of hand.
Governor Rick Perry of Texas proposed a flat tax rate as part of the tax overhaul program, demonstrating a new effort to separate himself from Mitt Romney and the rest of the Republican field. Mr. Perry signaled his insert of the speech to Republicans. Perry has supported the flat tax rate in the past. Steve Forbes, who ran for president in 1996, was recently recruited as the advisor of the pledge and implementing a single flat tax rate. And now sports with Manuel Garcia.
Saturday, October 15th was a night to remember. The Texas Rangers, falling behind 2-0, astounded the audience with 9 home runs in the third inning. The Rangers won the American League pennant for the second time in a row, defeating the Tigers 15-5. The first game of the World Series will be hosted by the St. Louis Cardinals on Wednesday, October 19th at 8 p.m. on Fox. Wow, the Rangers are doing so well. I hope they win the series this year.
Me too. Go Rangers. 50 custom Stormtrooper helmets were auctioned in Orlando, Florida by the Make-A-Wish Foundation. All in all, they raised around $50,000, and the most interesting thing about the auction was that the volunteers dressed up as several different Star Wars characters for the children.
You know, I've always liked Star Wars.
I like Yoda.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Once again, I'm Manuel Garcia.
And I'm Shaky Jones. Thanks for watching Adventure News at 9.
When you drive down Main Street in Duncanville, Texas, you may notice a variety of shops. However, the one that has always caught my eye is Ben Franklin Apothecary. It's not just a pharmacy. It's a general store, sweet shop, craft center, and home to the famous Kitchen's Deli sandwich shop and soda fountain.
Ben Franklin Apothecary on Main Street. We're actually an old five a dime store. We've been blessed to serve the area since 1964, so we're going on our 48th year of serving Duncanville, Cedar Hill, DeSoto, and all the other surrounding communities. I guess we'll start with Kitchen's Deli. That is actually our old-fashioned soda fountain and deli. We're definitely known for our sandwiches, our jumbo baked potatoes, and then we actually still do the old-fashioned soda drinks as well. So you can come here and get a Dublin Dr. Pepper. You come here and get you a nice little shake or some malts or anything like that, old-fashioned banana split. So the store side of it, that actually is our largest square foot. As far as square footage, is our largest part of our store, but it includes several different departments. We have our toys, infants, hardware. We do a lot of gift lines. We do a large infant section. We also have a quilt shop as well, where we have a bunch of sewing specialists and we have a quilting specialist as well. Our pharmacy has a lot of basic services like over-the-counter, but we also do a lot of specialized things like compounding lab. We do your basic prescription services as well. And we also do a lot of consultations and a lot of preventative type care for our patients as well.
As you can see, Ben Franklin's is an important and thriving part of the Duncanville community. So what are you waiting for? Head on over to Ben Franklin Apothecary today. like being an officer at DHS?
Well, it's been really nice for me. I've worked patrol on the streets for 9 years before I came up here in January. And it's been really nice getting to work with the youth and the parents and the teachers and, trying to be a good influence on them.
What was it like to be mentioned in the instructional spotlight?
Well, I really appreciate, when people see the hard work that we put in, us and the hall monitor staff. And it was really nice to see Mr. Granger put us in there and, recognize our hard work.
What exactly do you do here at DHS as an officer?
We handle all the criminal offenses. For example, if a student comes to the school with drugs. We also work thefts. Anything that's a criminal offense we take care of. We also, work with the administration and talk with parents and with the students that are having problems and try to work that stuff out.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Well, I would like to say that I would appreciate the school for letting me come up here and work. It's been really good. It's really good experience for me to be up here and to help, to influence the youth of our city.
What exactly does a hall monitor do here at DHS?
Okay, our hall monitors actually have a district, and they patrol that district. It would, like upstairs, be B200 district, and they walk all the halls, make sure students have passes, make sure there's no students in the hall or individuals that aren't supposed to be in the building or in their district.
Do you like your job?
Yes, I do like my job. I like the people I work with. We have what we call some veteran monitors, and then we have new monitors, but they're really working hard to make our department good, and this is the first time we've been recognized since I've been here in 7 years, so it's quite an honor for us to be recognized by Mr. Granger and put us in this spotlight.
All right, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, I'd like to say that as far as students, in my 7 years, they seem to be better every year, behavior-wise. I'm hoping at some point that throughout the whole district that we have the PBIS, that it will help us show the students that they have to be accountable, and also all the people in our department have to be accountable. And if we can succeed in that, we're going to have a great high school.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Miss Kay. How are you?
I'm fine, Gracie. How are you?
Tell me about Music Matrix.
The music matrix that Mr. Granger specified in the instructional spotlight is actually a solfege matrix that I did not originate that idea. It was copied from a colleague. But solfege is a solmization of syllables directly related to music so that every musical note has a syllable. Well, it's also used in chord structure and so forth in music, so that it's a good way to learn to sight read as well as learn to put all kinds of harmonizations together. So I came up with the solfege matrix idea, not originally, but I expanded upon what I had learned from a colleague to do the matrix.
Let the kids bring in their own instrument?
Yeah, but first they had something else they had to do. We took Beethoven's Joyful, Joyful, and what they had to do was they had to figure out the intervallic structure of the piece, and they each had a certain time, 3 minutes, to figure out their measures, run and put them on the butcher paper that I had attached to the whiteboard by measure. And so they had to time it and move from table to table to see which group could come up with their chords with the solfeggio before the other group. They all tried to beat the other group.
Kids enjoy the activity?
They loved it. They loved it. When they got to school, there was a sign on the door that said, "Go ahead and go get your instruments." And of course, we have vocalists and we have instrumentalists, and we have a couple of pianists in there. So we were able to use voices as well as their instruments. And the cool thing about using a solfege method is that students can read no matter what instrument they play. They can read as long as they know what key you specify. They can read the notes and make it sound like music without ever even knowing what it is. They can go from just line to line and across and play however random it may be, but it all fits.
Is there anything else you want to add?
I think the kids really, really enjoyed that particular activity. They learned a lot from it, and they were all smiling and said that was one of the, highlights of their year so far. So I hope to have many others, and they get my educational juices flowing. So they give me good ideas of what to do.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I graduated from Duncanville High School, and my high school coach and mentor was Sandra Meadows, and the gym at Duncanville High School is named after her, and I always wanted to follow in her footsteps. I went to Southwestern Oklahoma State in Weatherford, Oklahoma. It's about 45 minutes west of Oklahoma City. This is my 30th year. Nope, this will be my 16th year at Duncanville High School. I've been at J.J. Pierce in Richardson. I've been at Cedar Hill. I did 2 turns in the Valley, down in the Rio Grande Valley. I taught at Western Kentucky University and Kansas State University, and I coached in both of those places. Well, I guess that probably started with Coach Meadows, and she fought the battle for 5 years and lost it. And at that point, it made me realize that when I could, I wanted to do something with my life to prove that people like her don't need to be forgotten, and that we have to understand what causes cancer, and to do that, we have to fight in different ways. And my fight, because I don't have cancer, is to fight for the right to live. So I've walked in the 60-mile race 3 different times. From the first Wednesday in September till the last Wednesday in April, there's a 30-minute session offered each Wednesday afternoon from 3:15 to 3:45, and it's free. It gives all the students, whether they're freshmen all the way through seniors, the opportunity to grasp what these tests are about, the SAT, the ACT, and the PSAT. I teach one idea each 30-minute session. Sometimes I time you, sometimes I just do the teaching tool on it. I've had the blessing to be Teacher of the Year 2 different times at Duncanville High School, and that's pretty amazing to me because there are so many wonderful teachers here that I've been selected twice. That's just hard for me to believe because I know how many great ones there are out there, and I appreciate the opportunity to have been selected twice. I just love teaching, want to do it as long as I can and as long as I enjoy it.
Thanks for everything, Ms. Thomas.
You're welcome.
How are you?
Doing good, thank you.
Why don't you start off by telling me about your class?
This is the robotics and automation class. In it, we deal with mobile robotics, and that's kind of a distinction because robotics is broken into 2 categories these days. The mobile robots are just mobile robots that are moving around and doing things, and then robotic automation dealing with manufacturing, and those are more the construction arm type things that you see doing car assemblies and the like.
Can you tell me about the presentations that your students did in here?
What we do in this class, and it's part of what career and technology is at the core, and you can talk to the other career and technology teachers and they'll tell you the same thing. We're all about the professional and leadership development of all of our students. And like all of the career and tech classes, what we do at the very beginnings, we work on the professional development and leadership. In the presentations that Mr. Granger had seen, we had taken the time to do advanced total quality management training and advanced team development training, concentrating on the 5 keys to a good working teams. And then each team had to pick which one of those elements that they felt was the most important to them. And then I gave them an audience. You're going to go up and say, this is a lesson that is going to be given to either students or actually to teachers on how to develop teams. But the thing is, I did not want the usual, hi, we're going to look from a 3x5 card and never look up. We wanted, what would you want to hear? What are the things you would want to know? And you had to have some measure of assessment to make sure that your people understood what you were talking about.
What types of lessons are you trying to teach your students?
Good question. Basically, I try to pattern all of our classroom behaviors on what you would do as if you're in industry. Little known fact about career and technology classes, all career and technology classes are, just about all of our classes are college level classes. Either dual credit, articulation, or whatever else. Just about every single career and technology class is a college credit class. Therefore, I run it as a college credit level. I believe that we have to start looking at students as resources and partners in education and not, oh my God, how many problems do I have walking in through my door today? Now that means we have to put a lot of time up front into developing that type of environment where they can do this. Once we get in and have developed the student leadership, the student team training, where the students actually have a buy-in, you can get up there and start setting them on task and letting them basically running the class. It's like right now, as your people can observe, we're up here doing this interview and every single one of my teams is on task, is doing the job, and I don't really need to do anything. I see my role as the coordinator and safety person. I keep things from getting blown up. That's kind of a joke with us, you know, because there's always mistakes.
Can you tell me about the presentations that your class made?
What I did was something completely brand new this year. One of the things that we have to teach in Journalism 1 is journalism history. Journalism history can be kind of boring to some people. So what I thought was I would inject a little bit of student participation in that and have the students actually teach the journalism history part of the class this time. And so what I did was ask them to pick a person in journalism history off of a list that I gave them, so they got to choose their own project. Then from that, what they did was they were to do research on that person, find out who that person was, when they lived, what their contributions were to journalism, how they impacted journalism, and then they were to create some kind of presentation, whether it be PowerPoint or, you know, with Prezi Pro or, you know, whatever the program might be, to then present that to the class. And so then I had them do presentations to actually teach the class different people in journalism history, so they were able to learn from their peers. I also used one of our web tools, Web 2.0 tools, in the Google Docs, where I actually had the kids during the presentations, each student did a student evaluation on the person who was presenting, and they filled out that evaluation online as the students were presenting. So it was kind of a, you know, a new thing for them to kind of keep them participating in the process and not just sitting there watching a PowerPoint presentation. They were actually reviewing what the person was saying, what they were talking about. Therefore, I could kind of gauge that they were learning the history along with them actually listening to the project. So we kind of incorporated a lot of different tools in there. Some of them used PowerPoint, some of them used Keynote on the Mac, some of them used Prezi Pro. They used the Google Docs to evaluate their peers. I then used those evaluations in my evaluation process, as well as I created one myself while they were actually giving their speeches. So I was able to give them an instant feedback of evaluation through Google Docs so that they could see their grade almost immediately.
How did it feel to be mentioned in the instructional spotlight?
It's an honor to be mentioned in there. I mean, I know we have some great teachers here on campus, and to be one of those teachers that gets listed as in the teacher spotlight was an honor. Of course, I don't really take a lot of pride in spotlights. It's more about the students and what they learn during the activities and how they grow, and eventually how they become performers on my staff and be able to go out in the real world and then become performers on somebody else's staff after they leave high school. But it's a real honor to be mentioned by Mr. Granger and his staff in the instructional spotlight, because it just lets you know that you are doing what you're supposed to be doing, and that your job is valuable, and what we do here at Duncanville High School is very important to educating the students and allowing them to have the best opportunity possible so that they can leave Duncanville High School. I think a lot of kids don't realize what we have available here at the high school for them, and one of the things I like to do as a teacher is to make sure they understand that there's a lot of things out there for them if they will just take the time to be a part of it and get involved in it.